This is your Daily 5 for Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. Lando and I have finally finished watching the 2025 science fiction series Alien Earth, a series that it is very, very fair to say has had quite a mixed reception. This is one of those love it or hate it television series, or I guess streaming series now. I don't even know if you call them television series anymore, which of course I've said for a long time. If you've listened for a while, you know that the minute I hear love it or hate it, I am drawn like a moth towards those types of things, because generally that means that they're doing something so weird that most people can't handle it, or so exceptional that most people, well, I don't know what the other side of that is. It is sort of strange when these series are love it or hate it affairs, because you do tend to wonder what makes it stick for one group of people and not for another, because there doesn't seem to be any pattern to it. But that is not what this 5 is about. I wanted to talk about Alien Earth now that we've gone through the finale of the first and hopefully first, maybe only season. We really don't know. When it comes to streaming series, you can never tell. We have not seen any concrete confirmation of a second season, so this may be a one and done. Now, we'll get into the details on Friday, so I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything too heavy. I will say as a general statement that if there are no more seasons of this, if this is a one and done, in fact, I am not unhappy with where it left off. I think that it closed enough, or gave you enough of an idea of where it was heading, that if the threads that were left unresolved stay that way, I won't be particularly upset. It does not end on a massive cliffhanger. There are definitely things to be explored. There is definitely material that is not completely resolved and that you will have to fill in if there are no more seasons. You will have to determine if that is a big enough deal for you to handle or not. Also, if you are a big stickler for the canon of the Alien films, which I am not, because they've already decimated it when they started doing the different, the Resurrection film, then the AVP films, and they've already messed with it. Romulus, Prometheus, they've already messed around in this canon enough that I don't think it's actually as cohesive as anybody would believe that it is. But it does seem like there are a group of people who really can't stand that this series doesn't necessarily neatly fit in with what we have seen from the Alien franchise before. If you are one of those people, I would advise you to skip it, because the showrunner, Noah Hawley, has already said that he's not particularly concerned with canon. He has also said he thinks he knows a way to dovetail it back into Alien, but the fact that he phrased it the way that he did that way tells me that he's not overly concerned with it, which I think is to the benefit of the series, because I don't really think, and this is not much of a spoiler, I don't think that this series or Noah Hawley are particularly concerned with the alien as the central point of interest. Now, if that intrigues you, you might really love this series, and Lando was utterly uninterested in it until I prompted him to watch it. And I think it's safe to say he is a convert. He had a great time, as did I, with this series. I think it is a brilliantly told story. It certainly has some potential flaws in terms of the storytelling, things that I don't know if they're plot holes or not yet, but I don't think they matter, because, again, even the plot holes, if they are in fact plot holes and not planned kind of things that will be filled in later, because there's a lot of things that in the series you'll be presented and then you'll get the backstory on. I don't know that that won't be true for the things that are being currently classified as plot holes. But even if they are unexplained, even if they are in fact plot holes or instances of people doing dumb things, which is something that's been true of every Alien movie there's been, let's not pretend it hasn't, I think that the story being told, the actors, what the series is actually interested in is fascinating. And in fact is very close to some of the concepts we've seen Alien dangle around and play around with all throughout the series, from the original movie onwards. I think this series is diving further into that than any of the other films have done. I don't know if some of the comic books have gone over some of this ground before. I have not read all the Alien comics, but certainly as far as the live action material, I don't know that anybody else has dug as far deep into this particular aspect of the Aliens universe as Noah Hawley and this show are doing. And just for that reason, on top of the fact that it's a beautiful show that's brilliantly constructed, I would highly recommend Alien Earth. If you're at all interested, watch it. You're going to have a good time. Later.